In Australia, the ancient Aboriginal or Indigenous people were the first people to migrate and live on Australia's land. These Indigenous people believe that there was a time before time. This time is called the Dreaming. They believe that mystical beings with magical powers came from the sky, earth, and water. These beings created the land, animals, and plants that exist in Australia today. This belief is passed on through generations by storytelling and art. One type of Aboriginal art uses dots to tell a story. The traditional dot paintings were made in land, either drawn into sand or carved into caves. Today, paintings are done on canvas with acrylic paint, and they tell a story with Aboriginal symbols that represent the nature found in Australia. This type of art is a way to honor and continue the education of the Indigenous people's culture and traditions, and it's also a way to pay respect to the land and all the living things in Australia. And today we are going to create our own version. So you could use one of these handouts here. It has some Aboriginal art symbols and some different Australian animal silhouettes. Choose your favorite silhouette. Then you can grab a larger version of it, and this will help us transfer that image to your paper. So position the silhouette where you want it on your paper, and then all we're going to do is trace the outside edges, so the contour lines of the silhouette of the animal. Now, when you're tracing it, you want to press pretty hard, not hard enough to poke through the paper or break your pencil, but hard enough to where your pencil line is going to transfer onto your white paper. And then when you finish, pick up your white paper and you should be able to see your pencil marks that have transferred. All right, so that we can see it, now draw over those, trace over them again with your pencil. Now that the silhouette is complete, it's time to create our dots. So I'm using tempera paint here, and I'm going to go along the pencil line that I drew, and I'm going to place dots. Now, if you're doing this at home, you can simply just use markers. But if you do have liquid paint, you can use a Q-tip like I am as your tool to create the dots, or you can use the end of a pencil or even the back of a paintbrush. Also, artists, look at how I am rotating my paper. I need to rotate my paper so that I don't smear the paint that's wet. I want to try to keep my hand free of the paper, so I'm going to rotate it around to help me. And then I'm choosing a different color each time I go around my shape there, and that's so that I can create a pattern, and I just like the way it looks. Okay, after letting this dry, we're going to go back in and add some symbols to the inside of the animal. Now, I'm very inspired by the water hole symbol because it symbolizes to me a place where animals and humans can unite, come together. It also represents a connection to the environment because we do rely on the water to survive. So we do need to care for it, conserve it, protect it. And I just like the message that this sends. So think about what symbols you would like to use and the message you want to send with your artwork. Then you can begin creating your symbols on the inside. You may use pencil first and then trace over with Sharpie or black marker, or you can just use Sharpie like I am and just go for it. And there you go, artists. This is kind of a lengthy project, but I hope that it is relaxing for you, and I hope it helped you learn a little bit more about the Indigenous people of Australia.